Hello and a beautiful sunny welcome to Esher Rugby Club for the opening match of the long-awaited 2025 International Defence Rugby Competition for the women, of course, that is. There'll be 8 teams involved and they are going to be competing over the next 3 weeks before the Gloucester final on September the 3rd. Now, of course, the UK Armed Forces women's team will want to be involved in that final and they'll be hoping that they will. But first up, they've got Tonga this afternoon, so let's hear from the head coaches.
There are still some of the players that we would have liked to have in the squad, but I still think we've got the strongest we could possibly have out of everything, really. Yeah, clearly there's always going to be players in this role. There's no guarantee that you're always going to get the players, and it's not due to injury. It's down to deployments and how busy everybody is. But I'm happy with the squad that we've managed to select for this.
And how difficult have some of those selection calls been? I'm sure having to say to certain players that haven't quite made it.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice having to have that call. But everyone just wants us to do well as a squad, and everyone's backed the decision, and everyone's here and for the right reasons, and they're ready to go. It's completely the unknown. It's really hard to train for someone that you've never seen play. You don't really know much about them, and so we're just really concentrating on ourselves and doing the things that are good about. Yeah, we're just working on us and what we're good at, and hoping that will be good enough to put the wins in. Hopefully, when we went to New Zealand, we weren't prepared enough. Where I think this year we've fixed that, and I think we underestimated the competition. I think every team that will turn up here will be prepared, and they've known for a while, and they wouldn't have said yes to the tournament unless they were prepared to come here with a good squad. So I'm expecting a challenge in every game that we play.
What sort of style would you say that you want to play on Sunday? What sort of thing are you expecting as well from UKAF?
We've heard stories, we've watched videos, but we've put that aside from our team. I think what we're really focusing on is having a great time here and enjoying and bonding with the other female militaries.
How special is it, Vivali, that you come here, you're part of a tournament that, of course, in and of itself is a great experience, but the overall picture, hopefully getting more women and girls into rugby as well, does that make it even more special for you?
For me personally, I grew up playing rugby, so it's actually good to see a lot of women contributing to the game, because when I started playing back in Tonga, there was barely any girls playing rugby, so it's a good thing that we're taking a step forward into women in this sport.
So only minutes now until that UK Armed Forces women's team faces the Tonga Defence Forces, but I'm absolutely delighted. We've got a wealth of experience out there on pitch, but we've also got a wealth of experience in our commentary booth, and I'm delighted that Erica Mills has joined, better known as Kiwi, of course. You've played with this team, you played with most of these girls, you know what Huddy's like as a coach, you've experienced an international defence rugby competition. Just where will their heads be at the moment? This opening match, such a great honour to have it on home soil as well, but these girls are very professional about their outlook.
Yeah, I think they'll be in a space now where they're just ready to play. They've obviously had a couple of very competitive fixtures leading into this competition this time round against North Select and the England students. So for them, they are in a very good place and they're ready to see what they've learned from the last 2 fixtures going into this. I think one of the big differences, having spoken to the coaches and some of the players between this and the inaugural one in New Zealand, is they've had a bit more time to be cohesive in camp, more training together and more games. So I think now, they'll be ready for a hit out. They know what physical players Tonga are. They know the style of rugby that they want to play, which is probably reflected in more of a 6-2 split for the UKAF selection. And I think they believe in their game plan, and they've put a couple of things right in training this week. So ready.
Yeah, Huddy wasn't embarrassed to say that you were probably underprepared 3 years ago in New Zealand, but it's hard to sort of. Nobody wants to be overconfident, but we also are quite confident that the UKAF will be there at Gloucester on the 3rd of September. But it's difficult in this competition. We don't know what the likes of Tonga, Zambia, we kind of know what France can bring, we kind of know what Australia can bring. You've got Ireland as well, they're going to be a strong side. So, you know, will they have any of Jen? Will they have looked at other teams to see what's available? Or is, you know, is their sort of lineup as sort of unpredictable as ours sometimes?
Yeah, I think there's an element of everything of what you've just said there. I think that we can predict the style of rugby that each nation wants to play. That's normally quite reflective in both southern and northern hemisphere rugby in general. There'll be some continuity from France and Australia that we saw back in New Zealand. But yeah, I think the likes of Tonga, but with any nation, it's all about availability. Like the number of players that had the privilege of playing in that competition and now this one will be all depend on kind of operational commitments, injury, age. So yeah, there'll be a lot of different factors at play, but I think in general we can predict the style of rugby as opposed to having footage to be able to review and analyse going before them. So yeah, it will be interesting. I think the UK Armed Forces, of course, would want to be in that final, but the last competition was extremely humbling for us. We were potentially too confident, I don't know. Just something didn't really click for us in that tournament, and I think that will be in the forefront of some of the girls' minds who also played in New Zealand. So yeah, I think very humbled by the last IDRC, but with pure ambition to be in that final this one. So.
I'm certainly not going to single anyone out. I know that the likes of Komatai, Amy Cockayne and Sarah Bonner, of course, were three big international names are off doing, because the Rugby World Cup starts shortly. But can I just pick out the fact that Beth Dainton is back? Crosscode, of course, just off the back of playing for Wales Rugby League. I know she played up in Newcastle in the warm-up game. She's going to bring so much strength and determination to the side.
Yeah, 100%. Beth is a phenomenal player. She brings a lot of agility to that forward pack. Particularly having her at 8, we can expect to see a lot of pick and go and her making a lot of ground. I think the experience that she's had in dual code, obviously more recently with Wales in their kind of league successes and where they're building. She is 100% grown and developed as a player over the last few years into someone who is 100% there to watch for lots of different elements of her game, not just for her speed, but her work rate, etc. as well. So yeah, one to watch, definitely.
Erica, thank you very much. Kiwi, I'm going to let you go because you need to go up to the comments box, and of course the players are now coming up. So I'm going to throw to the rest of the commentary team for today. That's Simon Hunter, and he's joined by John Wild.
The Tonga side to the field.
Thanks, Kath. 8 teams, 3 weeks, 2 pools and 1 IDRC Cup winner. With some of England's most famous rugby venues in the waiting over the next while, the journey begins in leafy Surrey at the beautiful Esher Rugby Football Club. Well, it's been nearly 3 years since these sides met in the IDRC Plate Final in New Zealand. UKAF running home 44-11 winners. But this, of course, is a new day and a new tournament. UKAF head coach Sarah Mitchelson, as you just heard there, has spoken of lessons learned since that tournament, what they can do differently and what they've been doing in the build-up to today. As the teams come out onto the pitch on this beautiful sunny day, not quite as hot, I think they'll be thankful, as it has been in the last few weeks. The UKAF side this time around are coming off the back of a thrilling win against the North of England 15 in June up in Newcastle, and that was before a tough evening in Aldershot last week against England's students. They were put to the test really by that very strong students outfit. I'm delighted to be joined, firstly, by a man who's no stranger to these sides and these players, who spent a lot of time as UKAF and RAF head coach John Wilding. Good afternoon to you, John. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic as the players there putting arms around one another, lining up just ahead of the anthems, and great to have Kiwi, who's hot-footed it back up to the commentary box, and we'll be back just after the national anthems here in Esher.
And now, God Save the King.
Well, the training's done. The anthems are sung, just moments away from kick-off, and an opportunity for us to look at those two sides. Luciani Vivali, the Tongan captain, speaking to us at the opening ceremony on Friday at Sandhurst, saying how brilliant an opportunity it is for these players who've come a long way, and a lot of power as we were watching in the warm-ups there, some of the line-outs and other combinations looking really strong in that Tongan side, especially that back row, Vaitui and Vivali, the skipper at number 8. And UKAF, well, it's an all-army front row for them. Vast experience, Sarah Batley and Ray Metters combining, and the extra power that Sophie Benevent brings to that tight head position as well. A luxury to welcome back, as was mentioned, Welsh dual code star Bethan Dainton to the pack, slotting in at number 8 with her pace. Nayan Fahy, the halfbacks, and Jade Mullen moving to the number 13 position. Bit of a throwback to previous years, and moving back from number 12, where we've seen her a lot more recently. So Daisy Fahy with the ball, ready for the kick-off. Ireland's Paddy Sheehan is today's referee. Mitchell Egan of Australia and Sebastian Royer of France, his assistants. Fiji's David Vosalevu and Mike Gray of UKAF also in the lineup. And they're off to start IDRC 2025. And that ball goes a little loose. UKAF able to gain that bouncing ball. And now out, seeing her options here. RAF skipper and vice captain today. And Benevent straight down the middle. And great power there. And of course, Erica Mills, you'll know plenty of these players very well too, having played yourself a few years ago in New Zealand. And just looking to move it wide here, UKAF. And Jasmine Abel creating a bit of space for Daisy Aspinall. England under 20. That's lovely movement from Daisy Aspinall. Lovely footwork there. And she keeps on going for an early score in the opening seconds of this match. A fantastic way for the home side to kick things off. Absolutely brilliant from the right winger.
From number 10, Daisy Fahy.
Move there from the UKAF team. Recognised early that the Tongan defence weren't folding around the corner and they got caught short on the side here. Probably echoing what the strategy for the UKAF team is, to punch a couple of times and then move the ball wide and really stretch this team. But that's a great start and great footwork from Daisy.
Yeah, she still had quite a lot to do there, didn't she, John, with two defenders, and I think that's where she would have gained a lot of confidence, having played England students. They weren't afraid to attack the edge, both UKAF and England students, so I think having that as a pre-game to this will have given them the confidence on the edge to take them on one-on-one.
Absolutely. I think the pass from Jazz Abel as well, I think she's going to be a really key player in this team. If we can get her some ball in space, there's a really good player there.
Yeah, just missed conversion there. Daisy Fahy just touching the upright and bouncing off the wrong side of things, really. So 5-0 the score, but great to get that early try for UKAF. And Tongans looking to respond quickly here, and Daisy Aspinall coming off the back of that brace of tries against England students. She's been in great form. And if you think, to the two of you, how far things have come in the last 10, 20 years for this UKAF women's outfit and military rugby in general, it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, I think John and I were speaking about it pre-match, and he found a match day programme of the inaugural combined women's team, which was actually 20 years ago. So I think in terms of where the game has grown, the calibre of players and the support that Forces Rugby gets, I think it's phenomenal. And quite a lot has happened in 20 years, although in some breaths it can feel like it's taken a long time to get there. But now we have a depth in the squad across the tri-service, and we're able to facilitate fixtures against England students despite the result on that day. But just everything has increased and improved massively.
Now Dainton up the middle here, quickly taken penalty after that scrum, and Nye looking to get quick ball. Benevent again, nice little pass there, and a bit of a juggling act from Filippo, who's in the number 8 jersey today but playing inside centre. Nye once more, and she's been busy so far, Sophie Benevent, the Army tight head.
Folding again.
Fahey out to Dainton, and getting good
See the
forward
space
ball.
out left.
Into 22 now of Tonga UKAF, and another penalty there, John.
Yeah, it's all coming from what one is the really strong carries of Sophie. She's taking 1 or 2 defenders with her and getting off, but Tonga aren't folding around to the other side, and it's going to be a long day unless they fix that. At one point there was 2 defenders against 5 attackers, so that's got something they've got to do. But first they've got to stop the ball carriers like Sophie before the gain line.
Daisy Fahey opting for touch there. Ray Medders picking up the ball for the line out. Trying to exert some of that pressure, UKAF, in a fairly good part of the pitch now into that 22. Nice shifting that out to Filippo and Fahey, and looking to cut back inside. Lovely footwork there from Fahey, but just stopped in her tracks. And the Tongans screaming for extra defenders out on their left-hand side. And that's lovely, brilliant ball to Jade Mullen. And the skipper gets on the scoreboard. And a wonderful start, Erica.
Yeah, I think we can see there, like there's UKAF aren't shy in how they want to play. They want to play a few phases with the power of the pack, and then use the speed that we've got in the back line and the skill set that we've got. So at the minute, Tonga's defence are enabling us to play that game. So I think, a couple of early tries, hopefully they have an opportunity to defend a bit wider, but equally UKAF are able to capitalise on what we know is their game plan for this fixture.
All coming from an excellent line-out, by the way, which is, again, we're not looking to play tight with the Tongan forwards. That's their game. Off the top into midfield runners, and that narrows up the defence, and we can play out wide.
With Jade Mullen moving to that outside centre position, as in previous years, John, just giving an extra element in attack, as you were noting with me before the match.
I still think one of the best UKAF tries ever was Jade Mullen against Wales way back, where at 13 she made an outside break, stepped in and beat 3 players and went under the post at Cardiff Farm Park. She's got it.
Remember it well.
Fahey making the conversion this time. 12-0 UKAF go up, and just 6 minutes on the board so far.
I just think Daisy Fahey will make a decision not to run back that inside and against the Tongan defence like she did there. She doesn't need to, and it's a long tournament with 3-day turnaround. You probably don't need to take a hit like that.
Especially nursing a little bit of a leg niggle, it seems, over the last week or two, Daisy Fahey. But thankfully she's out there and looking good so far.
Yeah, just coming back to what John said there about that try coming from set piece. There's a lot of continuity in the forward pack. So Ray to Heidi, they played with each other for a lot of seasons now. So they can really gauge how each other are going to jump, throw, and we see success like that. So I think that'll be evident throughout this game.
And having that option of Dainton as well at 8, just makes that pack so much more dynamic, doesn't it?
100%. Beth was the best player for us in the last World Cup by a long way, and it was that work rate, but power and physicality she brought to it, which obviously Rugby League have been the benefit of for the last couple of years. But she adds so much into that, and has playing probably as an extra 7 in style rather than an out-and-out number 8, but she can do both.
And what about her work ethic, Eric? I mean, it's incredible, really. We've seen her do so much. Welsh dual code star, Rugby League, recently been very busy across the codes.
Yeah, Beth will always outwork anyone on that pitch, and that is something that she's brought to the game in spades ever since she started playing. She's always been arguably the fittest and one of the fastest on that pitch. So she will bring that today and in any fixture that she plays, and we saw that when Wales played Scotland the other day in her Rugby League code. She is everywhere but intelligent with it. So yeah, I think that'll be massive for the girls today. But also, it's not just her work rate. She's very versatile in the line out as well and gives a very dynamic option there, and we've already seen some of her runs and execution on the pitch already. So
she was capped by Wales and UKAF in the wing initially, so that's the pedigree she's got, and has made the back row her own since she's moved there.
Well, Tonga just holding on there, penalised for it. Fahe looking to gain as much ground as she can with that kick into touch, and a fairly successful one there. Metters herring after the ball, and UKAF once again looking to make more territorial gains. It's been a lot of pressure they've exerted so far on this very physical Tongan defence, but utilising that space beautifully. And Metters here at the line out. Several options, including Dainton at the back, who takes it. And to Nye and De Filippo again. A thundering run in the middle, and Fahe, a bit of space opening up once again for UKAF. And Aspinall finding herself off her usual wing, but looking to go quick side down blind. And that's wonderful stuff there from UKAF. Can they finish it off?
Yeah. That's a great move.
Brilliant move. And another score added.
Try there from Jez Abel, bringing the score at the moment to
I think there's one of the differences with what UKAF will bring is Daisy Fahe's kicking game. So when any penalty is 30 yards up pitch, which allows a line out like that, a superb line out from a throw by Ray. That's underestimated in her game. A throw-in is amazing. And then what that allows you to do in midfield is we've just seen there.
Yeah, I think coming from the England students game, we saw a little bit of like territory wasn't quite capitalised on where we wanted it to, and kicks didn't quite go to touch sometimes, but that there is something I believe they've been working on this week, kicking the right areas and yeah, trying to capitalise on the territory of the pitch.
But it's still, Tonga is really struggling to get to the far side of the ruck, and UKAF are exploiting that by running straight initially, so the carry by flip-flop right up the middle with options either side just narrows the defence and makes them unable to fold, and that gave us a real overlap.
Yeah, well, Daisy Fahe's had plenty of opportunity to test the leg today. She's up again for another conversion attempt right from the touchline this time, unsuccessful, but nevertheless 17 points to 0 go the home side. UKAF off to an absolute flyer here, and barely 10 minutes gone here at Esher Rugby Football Club.
With the introduction of flip-flop in the back line starting at 12, we've actually got 3 distributors there, 10, 12 and 13, so that will enable us to play a more expansive game. And we saw there off the tail, she obviously stepped in as a distributor, and yeah, it just adds another dimension to that, to the width that they want to play with.
Now Dainton again showing those dancing feet this time, running into contact, quite a bit of contact there, that red wall. But Nye shifting it to Metters on the far side.
You can see on this near side here that, you know, if we look at the Tonga's defence, I know they've just turned into attack, but there is a lot of space to play with for the UKAF Armed Forces if they can identify it and move the ball in attack. They're defending quite tight.
Helena Teu out on that left wing at the moment for Tonga, and looking fairly lonely for a while there, as you say, Erica. But nevertheless, the Tongans have the ball, looking just to try and punch through those purple defenders. UKAF happy enough with the territorial game that they've got going at the moment. And Tonga have an opportunity here with a little bit of space out wide. That's good tackling there. And UKAF just trying to get that over the whitewash, which they do. But first sign of a bit of enterprising stuff there from the Tongans.
Yeah, Tonga are playing pretty much one-out rugby, but what's really hurting them is that 9 is slowing the ball down, is not playing it quick, which is giving us time or UKAF time to get in position. What we need to do is then really rush up and put them to ground. We can't go half-hearted onto the tackle and let them get on their feet, because you can see what happens then.
Nye back out. De Filippo, first receiver. again. Good defence there from Tonga. Benevent this time, showing a bit of pace and taking a bit of stopping. She's down eventually. Fahy moving out to Aspinall. He's a bit cramped for room here, Aspinall. But, well taken down. Tayu there gets her opposite number. Measures, an experienced front row of UKAF, making things count around the fringes there as well. Fahy and Sinclair, helped by Dainton. And the ref pings the Tongans again. And another penalty in a fortuitous position for UKAF.
I think just before this attacking phase and before conceding that penalty, we saw a glimpse of Tongan attack, and we can see that they've got some pace on the edge. It will just be for them working on that discipline and not giving us easy yards, which at the minute we are capitalising on. We just saw then a repeat of back ball line out, hitting up flip-flop, so that's obviously working in their mind, and yeah, is gaining us good metres.
There's an air of familiarity about this position for UKAF, and the rolling maul is deployed. Just how much can they shunt these Tongan defenders back?
That's good.
In this position.
That's really good. It's a good build.
Beautiful from UKAF. And really getting the numbers there, and another try is scored. A dream start for the women in purple.
And that's really important to show that not just playing out the back and playing wherever, it's actually the forwards are here to play as well. And that's a really good catch, but set up initially. And actually that's quite hard to control a maul like that. And the decision maker at the back there was outstanding. That's good play.
Ray Metters, once again, we mentioned her versatility, Erica, showing it right there and getting her name on the try sheet.
Yeah, I think Ray is one of those forwards who can also bring more than just a good throw in the line out. She's also very dynamic around the park and is extremely experienced both positionally and within Forces Rugby. So that will be playing a key part in her role in this tournament, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah.
She's, I think the last game she was the top carrier by a long way and only didn't play the full 80. The next carrier was Heidi, and she played the full 80. So, in volumes of carries, Ray is just in the right place at the right time and makes the right decision.
Yeah, technically very sound as well, both maul and scrum and line out. So yeah, she brings that technicality, and we can see there in a maul defence, which I know is John's bread and butter, but it's good to see when you're playing against a more physical, or what we deem to be a more physical opposition, taking on those mauls and being able to make metres from it.
It also means that the back row defending it have to honour them all, and now can't fly out to the midfield and try and plug the holes that we've created earlier off line out. So now what do? Next time we get a line out and they're 22, do we go off the top and hit them in midfield, or do we drive through them like we've just done there? Great play by the RF, great tactics and good strategy.
There were questions about how this physical Tongan unit would try and maybe slow down the pace of UKAF and prevent them getting quick ball, but they haven't allowed them to do that so far. 22-0 and just under 16 minutes played here in Esher as the ball goes towards Heidi Silcox. Silcox and evading some tacklers there, Silcox. Calling for reinforcements now. Well, Fahy lines up to put the boot in again. That's the fullback, Whakaanga, chasing after that.
I think we are seeing some positives from Tonga here. They've spent a lot of the first 15, 16 minutes defending, and some of their one-up tackles, as we imagined, are physical and are dominant. Also good placing from the fullback there. So it's not all negative from the Tongan side. No. I think we just need to see them with a bit more ball in hand.
To be fair, I think it's the UKAF are playing the game away from Tonga, and that's not allowing Tonga to bring their strength into the game. But if we get lazy, one carry from Sophie earlier where she was a bit lazy, and they hit her and knocked the ball just there. Heidi, if she's not got support at the breakdown, they will come over the top and put pressure on us.
Another forced error there, really. UKAF's pressure telling once again. Emma Nomi, the open side flanker, being pinged for being offside there from a kick from Whakaanga. So UKAF with the penalty put into touch and look to set up this rolling maul.
Yeah.
But it comes around the corner, Metters, and De Filippo, who's been resolute in attack and defence today. Taking on the ball into contact. Benevent.
Go on, carry.
Seeing what options she has. And Sarah Batley as well, lining outside Jade Mullen.
Look how many Tongans are at the breakdown. If we'd have got that ball quick, it's on every time.
That's lovely. And Batley moving inside here. Sarah Batley trying as hard as she can to get towards that whitewash. But still they come, UKAF. Lucy Nye darting inside. And another try. It's the number 9, the RAF skipper, today's vice-captain, Lucy Nye, with the score. And yet another for this home UKAF side.
Number 9, Lucy Nye.
Batley's another one of those experienced people, along with Ray, who brings a lot to the game, not just in the technical set piece, but also expansive playing and a powerful runner. Like you say, just running off Jade there, and will always make game line.
I think Batley, Sarah Batley, is one of the most underrated rugby players in male and female and service rugby. She's been started and capped for both Army and UKAF across the front row, which is no mean feat. Last World Cup, she was our thrower because we lost a few hookers, whatever, and did really well. Our line-out was our strength. And actually, as a carrier, she's a massively underrated. You have to put a big shoulder on her to get it ground. So it's really good to see her to the fore early on.
Fahy with the extras. And she duly adds them as well. 29 points to 0 UKAF.
It's going to be important that people like Daisy and Lucy and the kickers, we don't, in weather like this with short turnarounds between games, that we don't play any rugby that wasted energy down here. As soon as they get the ball, they're looking to put it into the Tongans, the opposition's half, and play from there, not waste energy. That's going to be really important, and it's disheartening for a team to constantly have to turn around and go backwards. So those little things are going to add up as the tournament goes.
And important as well, Erica, to be as ruthless as possible, of course, taking and seizing each of those opportunities, UKAF, scoring as much as they can, because it's about laying down that marker for the tournament as well.
Yeah, this is, I said in my pre-match interview, we were humbled by the last IDRC, and I think the squad have had a lot more time together this time round and had those opportunities to form cohesive kind of partnerships where we want them to be seamless, I guess. So they're absolutely up for it, and today will be a good test for them to right some wrongs from the previous game and suss out the opposition, because there's been very limited kind of footage and things like that, and I don't imagine that Tonga would have had that many games prior to this tournament. So it will be about identifying what's in front of them and adjusting the game plan to suit that.
Another line out from Esher to sort. Daisy Fahy acquainting the ball with the corrugated roof of the stand over there.
So this is going off the top.
Dainton again. She's been important at the back of that line out and trying to shift this wide, but the ball just going behind Jade Mullen there a little bit. Jazz Abel
nice
looking to put Aspinall into space and trying to use that burning pace she has. Aspinall, fantastic side steps. A couple of defenders beaten. Wonderful once again. And who can stop her scoring tries at the moment?
Yeah, Tonga will be disappointed. That what's not happening is, if you're struggling, what you have to do in defence, what you have to do is go forward. And at the moment, they're just watching what the UKAF are doing and then trying to react to it. That said, that run, catch, pass and line from Jazz Abel to put Daisy away, again, was really class, and the finish was outstanding.
Like you mentioned in a previous line-outs, John, like that back ball for Ray to hit consistently can be really underestimated. Actually, that's quite a skill, even though we've got fair conditions today. To do that repeatedly and successfully, I think any rugby player out there or any hooker will appreciate that is no mean feat. It
is windy. It's not. So there's no wind, and say back ball is the gold we look for in rugby. But she hits it constantly. So yeah, it's from there. It's really hard to defend. But Tonga must bring some line speed.
Yeah, Jazz Abel has had a good game so far. Daisy Fahy adding the conversion, and certainly with the likes of Courtney Pursglove lurking in the wings, important for her to put that together today, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Courtney would be awesome in this team as well as Jazz, and will probably come on and when Tonga are a little bit tired, will cut loose. But Jazz has taken her opportunity and is a really good rugby player, and I just think we haven't seen the best of her necessarily in service rugby, but from what we have seen glimpses of, she's exceptional.
Just over 20 minutes gone in this opening match of the IDRC 2025. It's 36 points to 0 to UKAF. The Tongans yet to get on the board as they look to restart once more. That ball out to Rowan Sinclair. He's been an important cog in the Navy wheel of things, and of course your experience for UKAF as well. And Dainton having switched codes back to Union for today and for the tournament. Busy in league. Fahey again trying to turn the Tongans around.
Yeah, that's good rugby. Two hard carries from Rowan Sinclair, who's played really well in the last couple of years, and then Beth again sucked in a lot of defenders, but put the defence, or took all line speed out of defence, allowing Daisy to pick her spot for a kick. And again, from just inside our 10-metre line, we've now got another line out on their 22.
Yeah, just a bit of a breeze, as you mentioned, and Manu Haapai just watching the ball swirl above her. And Utui Kamanu, the hooker, with the ball here for the Tongans, looking to escape from their 22, and well taken in this time. But UKAF have stolen it.
Good pressure.
Yeah, great pressure up front there by Beth. That's another thing that she can bring in the defensive space at set piece. She is very explosive off the floor, so good challenge there, and I think that caused the knock-on and put the pressure on Tonga.
Just a little knock-on from UKAF as well here.
And that's the thing that UKAF will have to fight is that you don't actually give it 100% every time, because you're expecting what's gone before. We've made gain line easy, and then you take your eye off the ball and stuff like that happens. So I know Huddy will be very, very vocal about that at half time, that we've got to really concentrate on our details.
Nye again. Pushing it out to Mullen, who switches round to De Filippo and finds space for Jazz Abel, who's very, very close now to the try line. Jasmine Abel just inches away. UKAF once more, shipping that ball wide. Plenty of space there. Daisy Fahey slots it down. And another one for the UK Armed Forces.
I'm not sure that was drawn up like Jade played it there, but we'll take that. That was an amazing off play, because fair play to Tonga, they shut her down, but her pirouette there opened up the space for flip-flop to go through.
Fahey, who had a very good inter-services, scored a brace at Northampton against the Royal Navy. And I think that day her 2 tries were pretty much route 1, but this time utilising the space.
She is a forward in disguise. She loves a bit of route 1, trust me.
I don't know if she'd thank you for that, John.
No, she won't, but...
You're far enough away, I think, John, at this stage, for her not to hear.
I think the West Country girls in her shoe, she loves a bit of route 1. No, and again, you can't underestimate, as I said before, how the kicking game, the 2 carries and then the kick downfield, what that takes out of Tonga, but what it puts into UKAF, and then from that line out we pressurise them, and look what happened. And these things are really important. So any team coming up against UKAF has got to have a policy to deal with the kicks and try and put pressure back on.
Just getting that to draw slightly around the corner and make that conversion from, I guess, the wrong side for a right-footed kicker. But 43 points to 0. 25 minutes gone. A player we haven't really mentioned too much yet today, Kim Grundy on that left wing. He's had a fantastic time of it with the Royal Air Force, the inter-services, and scored a brace as well up in Newcastle against North of England 15, and she's been showing her pace as well. And brilliant options, really, outside skipper Jade Mullen.
Yeah, Kim's her upside is amazing, and I think her potential is so good for what it could, where the game could take her. She just needs the ball. And once she gets the ball in her hand a couple of times, she's worked really hard in this game for a couple of kick chases, and that's as crucial as running with the ball in hand. But you watch, she's got a little bit of X factor about her if she gets the ball.
Ball swirling again and is bouncing awkwardly over the head there of Manu Haapai. Scrum half for Tonga. And these players, of course, Erica, looking back to when you were building up to the first match of an IDRC, which everyone wants to be part of course. Yeah. They'll just be happy now as well that they've got going
Yeah, absolutely. And with a scoreline like that now, 43-0, only 27 minutes gone, I think it's about, for the players on pitch to be playing intelligently. They have a lot of attacking ball at the minute, so far less saturating than when you're defending for that time. But yeah, I think it'll be about making the smart choices now, letting the ball do the work, and having, you know, not being disenfranchised by the fact that it's that scoreline, still getting their game plan right, but also with one eye now on the next fixture and being savvy in that recovery and, yeah, conserving energy.
Any team with Huddy as a coach and Jade Muller as a captain will not be resting on their laurels. I can promise you that. What I'll also say is that it's a really good position for Huddy as their coach to start bringing a bench in early, and thinking of it's a 23-person team. So bring those players on early, and again, let's start thinking about their game going forward, but also put the pressure on them to keep the standard high as they come on.
Yeah, you're right, John, and there's, outside of Jade and Huddy, there are numerous players on that pitch that will be driving the standards, whether the scoreline's 43-0 or whether they're losing. So we'll see that in spades, I'm sure, especially in the second half.
Scrum wheeling round, and Tonga earning the penalty there.
And that's the threat of Tonga. If you're not 100% focused like we have been on previous scrums, they will put pressure through your tight head, and we were found wanting there.
A rare opportunity for the Tongans to get into the UKAF half. And let's see what they've got up their sleeves here.
It just does. If you look at their back line alignment here from Tonga, it doesn't look like there's much threat from them out wide. They're going to go quite narrow here. That's a penalty.
Well, not going the way the Tongans would have wanted there. UKAF taking that ball, regaining possession.
Good step.
And, cutting inside is Dainton once more. She's been busy today, looking for plenty of work there. Inside, Benevent. And Fahy summing up her options with the boot and trying to get that to bounce kindly towards Daisy Aspinall, who's hunting on the outside. But Teu reading that rather well. Oh, the ball's spilling a little bit, but that's nice from the red shirts. It's gaining a bit of ground there, trying to get out of danger. UKAF were prowling.
Yeah, good pick-up from Tonga there, and I think now it'll be good to see UKAF's defensive shape. I know there were a few elements of that game, especially in the second half of the England students, where people were going through the middle, and I know that Huddy has done everything in her power this week for them to work on doubling up on the tackles and not allowing that to happen when the other team are attacking.
I think the winger, the Tonga winger here, number 14, she actually had more space than she thought before she passed it. I'd like to see her get some go forward and let the rest of the team follow her. From UKAF, you're absolutely right, Erica. I think the issue at the moment is that we're putting hits on, but we're not putting them to ground. So the double hits are all right, but if you get in a wrestling match with the Tongans, that's what they want, and they'll come out on top. So we've got to put people to ground is the big thing.
Being in numerous places across this pitch, especially in that or around that 22, has allowed UKAF to test a lot of different options as well. Fahy looks to chip this over the top. And several UKAF players in pursuit, and going wide now to Aspinall. What can she do out wide this time? Once again, trying to break free of the defenders and get that ball down. And another try signalled by the referee. Fantastic stuff from Daisy Aspinall. Quality in abundance.
That's a great finish again. I think Tonga will be disappointed with that last tackle, but that's a great finish. And again, so the UKAF will put runners through the middle, kicks over the top, spread it wide, maul it off a line out. That came off of a scrum as well, which was after the last scrum, which we penalised, was nice and strong. There's a lot to be pleased of there.
Yeah, I did wonder if there was a little fumble by Lucy there, but obviously the ref's better placed than I am. But yeah, again, just capitalising on that width and the step at, still with a lot of work to do. Like, it by no means is it a run-in try. So yeah, she's playing really well on this right wing.
And unfortunately for Tonga, the UKAF got the bounce of the ball there, and when the game goes against you, it goes against you. But you've got to grab it back. And I think the one thing I would say to Tonga is, no matter what, you've got to sell out on the line speed and just get up in Daisy Fahy's face and Jade's face and Flip Flop's face, and put their skills under pressure. I mean, they're good players, and I think they'll cope with that. But at the moment, it's really easy. They're seeing the whole field without any pressure.
Yeah, and you can see body language under the post there from Tonga. It's hot. There's only 30 minutes gone. So it's about those now micro chats, I think, and just having that player chat, heads up, and just trying to gain something for their next fixture as well, whether that's connecting a bit more in defence or, like you say, fronting up one-on-one in the back line. But they're the kind of chats I would imagine that are happening under the post right now.
Not quite at the half century yet, UKAF. That ball just sliding across the face of the posts from the boot of Daisy Fahey, but 48-0 and 32 minutes gone. And still plenty of time before the interval for UKAF to try and see what they can rustle up, and for Tonga to try and respond. They've been going back, as you say, John, quite a bit, and having to turn around and just come up with some sort of
I think I might do something different
option.
No, well, I'd like to see it because they look balanced up their attacking runners, but they've still kicked at the same place. If I was them, I would kick them. There you go. There's Kim.
Well, once you you mentioned it before, the bounce of the ball going the way of UKAF. When things go for you, they really do. Kim Grundy there with the score this time. The wingers are really making hay today in the sunshine at Esher, and another try. Brilliant stuff from Grundy.
And Kim scored a try like that against the Navy in Northampton with a ball bounce, and but that's because she chased really well, and it's a really underestimated skill that's required if you've got a good kicker is the good chase. Again, if I was Tonga, I would kick the ball all far away from Daisy Fahey on this next kick as possible, make someone else kick, see if they can, and do something different. But that's great from Kim, a great catch, great finish, but Daisy's kick was outstanding.
Yeah, her positional awareness has been so impressive to watch this year, Daisy Fahey, and a key component of their success against the Navy in that match that you mentioned at Northampton.
Daisy played in the Premiership for Gloucester at full-back and at 10, so it shows that she's got the skills and the pedigree, and she's a really good player, and arguably one of the best kickers in the women's game. So that's a strength that UKAF are riding on the back of. But that's all well and good. You've got to do something about that.
To the UK 53.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, John, I had the privilege of playing with Daisy at Gloucester, and she is a phenomenal player and brings like a really calm energy, which is exactly what you want from someone in a key decision-making role like 10.
Yeah, and there's no person who wants to win more than Daisy.
Yeah. I think we've got a few people like that on the
100%.
pitch, to be honest. Their passion and, that generally comes from any competitive space. But, some of the players out there, this may well be their last kind of UKAF run out. You just don't know. There's a spread of ages and seniority in that squad. So,
Rowan Sinclair with real pace there.
Rowan is someone who's developed massively. We picked her about 2 years ago, and she has developed. She went and played some time up at the Leicester Tigers, and has developed into a really good utility back row. I think she's a 6 or a second row, but she can play anywhere, and actually her carrying is immense. Yeah,
we've seen her in some open space as well. Some of that broken play. She's a real danger around the fringes, as is Beth Dainton.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in the UKAF forwards who isn't a danger in open space, but someone's got to do the hard work and tie them in. I think Sophie, and if you can put Becky Wilson on the bench, who's a great runner, then you've got a really good set of forwards. But Heidi's a great runner. We've already seen that. The back row are fantastic, but it's all because we're working hard. Someone's working hard to take the ball into the line and win it back.
We mentioned how good Fahey has been as she puts the ball once again. It's touch from that penalty, but it's a luxury, really, isn't it, to have that speed of service from Lucy now at 9, and getting to the breakdown as quickly as she does, and just giving the backs that extra bit of time to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, Lucy is another seasoned player. Obviously plays her rugby down in Exeter Chiefs, and you can tell what she brings to the game. She knows when to speed it up. She knows when to slow it down. She's got that rugby knowledge and experience, which is absolutely what you want from someone in a key position like scrum half.
The ball looked as if it was maybe knocked on a little bit there, but the ref plays on. Aspinall cuts back inside, and penalty to UKAF. Once again, a very threatening position for them to be in, just showing how the ball moved through the hands has been so successful for them today, and Fahey eyeing up the corner.
If your back three are scoring all the tries, your 9's playing well. As well as your forwards, but your 9 plays really well. And the difference between the two teams in attack is the speed of the ball from 9 from the breakdown. And I think that if Tonga speed the ball up, they can get some gain line and get some pressure. But the speed that Lucy's putting on the ball and the accuracy and the length of pass, which is taken outside the outside defender, is just giving Daisy an armchair ride.
Yeah, we can see that from her distribution off the line out with the balls that are coming off top as well. And I think now, you know, if the scoreline was slightly different, we'd maybe to be looking to play a bit more quick ball. But actually, let's test our set piece. Let's see what's working and the different combinations that we've got in the pack today, and have an eye on the next fixture.
100%.
Because against England students, I don't feel like our line out was particularly tested, both in attack and defence. So this will be a good opportunity to see that in its full glory before the next fixture.
100%, and we've already seen them say drive over a maul. That's where we probably want to see again what you're going to do, something variations, but the off the top is definitely working. We've already showed that, but I would like to see some more just peels around the back and really interest the back row, free up our back line. Again, good scrum from us.
Good to see the back row defence there, Rowan quick off, and then obviously Beth there plugging in support.
It's like you taught them, Kiwi.
That ball just put into touch there, and an escape route there for Tonga. And just around that 22.
And there's the difference. Their exit gets them just still inside their 22. Our exit gets them to their half. And that adds up over time. And their Tonga are feeling the pressure now. Oh, it's good defence for Tonga.
Great defence.
Great stuff from the red shirts, and trying to ship that ball wide. But UKAF doing fairly well to track across in defence as best they can. Mullen there looking to peel away.
Yeah, we see the UKAF have got to the far side of the ruck. They're still.
Dainton looking to jackal there. But Tonga still have the ball, moving it through a powerful pack.
Yeah.
And just looking at the Tongan attacking setup here, they're quite linear. They're not really giving UKAF defensively too much to think about, but they're definitely relying, I think, on some of their bigger runners to set that platform for them to get to edge.
Yeah, and you can see the line speed from UKAF is trying to get in their faces as soon as they can, not get ahead of steam up. Fair play to Tonga, they're still holding on to the ball and they're still making some go forward, but they're not getting over gain line. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just getting eager on the ball. There's lack of discipline from UKAF against a better team. That the sort of penalties would really kill us. But you know, we just probably the tackling to ground is where UKAF needs to really work on here.
Just a few penalties conceded in the last few moments, and as you've both mentioned, trying not to get complacent with this 53 points to nil lead that UKAF have, and looking to keep that pressure on and stay razor sharp with every opportunity they have, especially, as you say, Sarah Mitchelson watching on as head coach and making sure that they tick all the boxes she'll be looking for today. But Tonga, well, they're the ones with the ball as we approach half-time. Another line-outs to come, and Tui Kamanu, the hooker, looking to get this straight. There's been a few line-outs that have had to have been reset recently, but that's fine for the Tongans. And the UKAF really up very quickly indeed, but that's very, very good stuff from the skipper. Vively there. And, UKAF get her down.
Yeah, she's one of their bigger ball carriers that they're looking to find quite often. You know, we have seen small periods of attack, so it'll be good now that UKAF get a bit of defensive pressure before half-time.
And there's the half. The ref blows his whistle. Points towards the dressing rooms. 53 points to nil, UKAF lead. A fantastic first half for them. They'll have been planning for something quite like this. I'll be delighted, of course, to keep the opposition to no points. And a quick summation from both of you, Erica. Firstly, brilliant stuff in both attack and defence, and seeing it right across the pitch. The forwards, their handling has been brilliant too, and the backs just with that pace out wide. It's been great to see right across the pitch.
Yeah, I think exactly what you've said there, and almost Tonga are allowing us to play a bit more expansively and test the hands, both in the forwards and the backs. I think we are able to play the game plan that Sarah Mitchison wants. In attack, we are looking to suck them in a little bit with some of our bigger runners, and then hitting the edge where we've got footwork and skill. So the Tongan defence is affording us that. However, we have also seen some towards the back end of that second half, we've seen a little bit of foot off the gas, lack of concentration, maybe a bit of complacency with the scoreline. So now, hopefully, in the second half, we see a bit more of the Tongan attack. Like I say, some of their one-up tackles, because they have been defending for a lot of that first half, have been good. It's just finding a bit of connection, I think, for them, defensively and in attack, just to play a bit more creativity, because UKAF have been working firmly on their defence since that England game.
What would you be saying at half-time, John, if you're in that Tongan dressing room?
If I was in the Tongan dressing room, I'd really keep it simple, because like, they've worked hard, and it's a hot day, and you know, it's a bit of a shock to come up against the home side first day off. I think I'd keep it really simple in defence. We've got to get off the line, and if UKAF find a way around that, as we go off the line together and put pressure on their skills and leave some hits on them, I think then let's see what UKAF have got. An attack, I would tell the 9 just to speed the ball up, and whatever runners we get, let's just take someone with you and take them into the line. Because actually, when they do that, UKAF haven't stopped them on the gain line. So, you know, and UKAF for the last 5 minutes, probably their indiscipline has allowed Tonga back into the game. So that's what I'd be saying.
Brilliant, and we'll be back with the live action very, very shortly. One of the privileges, of course, as we bring the coverage to you through this tournament, is getting behind the scenes to chat to the players and see how things are going in terms of the way they gel together and the way they train together. And we've got quite a bit of cool stuff coming up just now. We take you inside the UKAF camp. Don't go anywhere.
She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
So, yeah, New Zealand was tough. It was like a tough tournament. We started, we played Australia first, and we started really well, like really good first half, and then we just didn't come out the second half. Like, yeah, we took our foot off the gas and allowed Australia to come back in the game and ended up just losing. And then it all came down to the Fiji game next, which we put our massive, our hearts on the line for that, and we worked hard, and we needed to win by 2 tries, and I think we were just a try down, and yeah, obviously the full-time whistle went, so we didn't get into the semis to get into the final, so we ended up going into the cup game, which we were successful, but obviously we were playing teams they were physical and good, but probably not to the caliber that we wanted to play, and we could play. So we were a bit disappointed. We just never got the rugby right, and our decision making right, and basically playing an 80-minute game for both games, and that's what we should have done, and we didn't. So yeah, we're looking definitely to right those wrongs in this tournament, that's for sure.
We don't really celebrate that. I disagree with me if you want, Jade, but we don't really celebrate that, I think, because we knew we could have done better and gone on to win that competition. So it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, despite getting the silverware. It's been really difficult because we knew we could have come away with the win.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a picture of me actually crying. I'm New Zealand, and Kiwi, one of them, she's out now, Erica Mills, is giving me a coach whilst I'm crying, because I was sad that we should have done better, and I think I was just disappointed in myself, and then obviously us, that we definitely should have been in that final. And it's one of those things. It's rugby, it's sports, it's hard, but you know, we move forward, and it's about now.
Yeah, I think you've got to take the highs with the lows, and now we've got an opportunity 3 years later to go out and do what we should have done.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nope. 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 Yes. Yes. Nice. Oh.
Yes.
Yay! Oh my God. Yeah. 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 3, 2, 1. It's all C3, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Get last one. Yeah. Go. Just get the last one.
Yeah! Nice back. Mug me up, though.
1, go.
Oh.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh. Nice. Last one.
Yeah!
Nice.
Bring it home.
So what scores on doors at the moment? There's two with 4, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first.
Knockout.
Okay. Ready?
2, 1 hand.
1, go. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I broke it.
No. What was that?
That's just me setting the tone for jazz, guys, and mind games.
So now it has to be perfect to win.
Oh, God.
Clean shoot.
No pressure yet. Jazz, definitely not getting in your head. Winners only.
Happy with the height.
Let's go. Go.
Oh no, she's gonna win.
Not only is this a test for the pilots, but it's a test for the entire squadron to ensure they can operate anywhere in the world.
That vehicle will enter the water and become the platform, the ferry in this river crossing. Let's see.
This is our Bambi bucket. The aircrew will then connect it to the aircraft where they will then lift with the Bambi bucket and go and fight fires.
This exercise is about training them in military environments to adapt their medical skills for defence.
Getting used to the water, but also the shifting sand and pebbles beneath their feet. That helps them prepare for the unexpected, which is what can also happen on parade.
My favourite rugby idol is Jade Mullen, absolute workhorse, powerhouse, and always leads from the front.
Danielle Waterman, just a big inspiration to me.
Portia Woodman.
Tatiana Heard.
I think my favourite rugby team would probably be the UKAF team. Great bunch of girls.
Has to be England. Absolute vibe about that team.
Ooh, Fiji. My best pre-game song would probably be Black Eyed Peas, Boom Boom Pow. I think it's got a good beat, gets all the girls up onto their feet.
Kate Bush running up that hill, because that's how 80 minutes feels like for a prop.
When I come on the pitch, just before kick-off, I have to do 3 top jumps.
I've got to walk out onto the pitch and just get a feel for the stadium or the ground we're on.
My favourite post-match meal has to be a Sunday dinner with massive Yorkshire puddings.
Wood fire pizza, cold, ice-cold lager.
I love a Chinese with like maybe an orange on the side. You gotta get your vitamin C. It's gonna be a weird one, but you gotta get your vitamin C.
My go-to pop-up song for a gym workout would probably be Sweet Caroline. That's a good one to sing along to as well.
Give me a Man After Midnight, but the remix version of like the Mamma Mia. So it's got a bit of a beat to it.
Oh, Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name.
The stadium I've played in, that has to be Twickenham.
Stade de France against New Zealand in the French World Cup. It was epic.
Definitely Twickenham.
I'd probably say King's Home, like the Shedheads there. They are top tier.
My dream team to play for would be England. Absolute work ethic on the pitch.
Fiji, if I was hard enough, for the offloading game.
The British Women's Lions. However, I might have to train a hell of a lot more for that.
My favourite rugby moment ever would be scoring a try at Twickenham for the Navy.
First cap for the RF was pretty special with the girls.
Probably receiving my second Welsh cap for the women against England on my 18th birthday.
Scores the try, the third try for UKAF.
This is the pinnacle of military sport.
And she's going to go and score the try, and that is a fantastic try.
We can't wait to show what Service Rugby is about. British rugby.
Goes wide, it's going to be a try, surely.
We really want to just be able to create a spectacle, get as many women and girls involved in rugby as we can.
Momentum going in their way.
Probably the biggest honour you can get in service rugby, so it is very special.
She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go and score the try, and that is a fantastic try.
Welcome to UK side.
53 points to 0 is the lead for the UK Armed Forces in this curtain raiser of the IDRC 2025. And the Tongans going in at half-time with plenty of questions to answer. We're seeing a few changes on the UKAF side, an opportunity to freshen things up. Elise Fletcher, front row for the Royal Air Force, is on. And bring a few of those to you very shortly. I'll tell you the exact changes that have been made. Sarah Mitchelson looking to keep her players as fresh as possible, of course, as well, through this tournament. especially with such a strong lead for UKAF, and backs and forwards alike playing beautifully here at Esher Rugby Football Club. And welcome back, of course, as well to my co-commentators today, Erica Mills and John Wilding. Erica, it's, as we're seeing, some changes to the UKAF side, and important just to make sure that some of those players who are perhaps on the fringe or certainly looking to get more experience as well are blooded into this game and get as much of that as possible.
Yeah, I think it's about preservation of players now with the rest of the competition in mind. We can see here Sarah Batley's come off for Elise, so that'll be good for her to get some minutes under her belt, and you just get to see your players under fatigue as well, you know, because traditionally subs from about 20 minutes game time, if not a bit more. So it's good to see them getting a full half, and it just gives you more options as a coach for the coming fixtures.
Fletcher with her hands on the ball immediately, passing it back to Heidi Silcox, and Fahe looking to boot that ball and find a little bit of space. It is well taken from the Tongan fullback, Whakaanga. But straight up in the air, really, and into the sun looks Benevent. As the ball comes back on the UKAF side, Lucy Nye looking to pick up where she left off in that first half, and to Miller this time. And that's nice bit of work, getting over the gain line, Chantel Miller, Army flanker, and well taken there from Fahe. And the skipper looking to move it wide, and they've got space here. They've also got plenty of pace. Daisy Aspinall looking to push that ball back inside, and just going a bit loose there for UKAF, but the penalty nonetheless.
They're coming out with some real intensity there in attack. That was good hands there all the way through. I mean, to say Daisy could take, but Jade's great pass there. Just think the kick from Tonga, she did a really good take, but that kick down the midfield just put them all under pressure from there. To be fair to Tonga, that should have been a try if you'd have done that initially. And the defence, the cover defence has got there, whether that's legally or not, they've got there and stopped the try. Sadly, it's a yellow card.
Well, a sin bin there for the Tongans, which will not help their cause at all as UKAF look to march back downfield. And the first opportunity for them in this second half.
Yeah, I think the clearance kick from Tonga there, they would have wanted a bit more distance on that, whether it was to gain territory or to actually find touch, which obviously then generated the opportunity for UKAF to counter. We saw Chantel Miller on the ball there. I think she had quite a quiet first half, so it'll be good for her to get a bit more hands on ball this second half.
Now the ball straight into the hands of Aspinall.
And probably one of the persons I wouldn't kick the ball to.
Yeah, very agile on her feet, Daisy Aspinall, as well as that burning pace, which we've become accustomed to over the last number of weeks and months. And plenty of numbers here, UKAF, and shipping it wide. Jasmine Abel this time looking to dot over the whitewash, gets over, and a wonderful try there from UKAF, just utilising that space out wide. Tongan defenders sucked in, and more points on the board.
Yeah, UKAF will be disappointed that line out. That was a line out to take, and we didn't take it well. However, the pressure and reaction from that, we reacted quicker than Tonga did when they got the ball, and that pressure turned over. But some really good signs that UKAF are playing with a little bit more tempo, and certainly a little bit more accuracy in the pass. Just that, if we keep that going, I think the floodgates are open.
Yeah, for me, John, it's about those 1% now. How can they capitalise on individual skill set, but also collective structure and collective skill set under these conditions? So yeah, just working on those little things. With, yeah, like I say, future in mind.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's really important. The goals they set themselves at half-time and measure themselves against, what will that be? And to score so early sometimes can to almost relax the players, and that's when you can allow the opposition into that little space where you've relaxed from. I know that any team with Jade, as I've said before, that will never happen, but just everyone else needs to really buy into this.
Fahe looking just to pull that round a bit and utilising the post rather beautifully as it comes back inside, and the conversion attempt is successful.
She plays to the crowd.
Well, John, Elise Fletcher, as we briefly mentioned there, scoring a try against the Navy in Northampton in the inter-services. What can we expect from her?
So Elise is, probably one of the most improved players for the RF this year. Very physical, and has been capped in the second row, loose head and tight head. So it shows that she's got versatility and strength, and will just do the hard yards. And will be one of those people who never shy away from a ruck or a clean out or a carry. And you'll expect to see some good clean outs from her.
Silcox again. In her addition tape to be a back
There's no one back.
Moving round the side.
No one back.
And Fahey spots the space once again, which she's done brilliantly all day. And pushing that ball, just bouncing and trickling over the touchline, and a wonderful kick from UKAF's fly half.
I don't know where the fullback was there, but there was no one back. And if you show that to Daisy, then it doesn't matter what the plan is, that's going to be taken all day long.
Well, it's great to have your company with us on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Do let us know where you're watching from today, whether you may be down the road in Surrey or further afield, indeed abroad as well. We'd love to hear from you. Endeavour to give you a shout out as well.
Pressure.
But that ball's just gone forward into Tongan hands. And, well, 3 UKAF defenders there in the end, trying to get to Vivali, the captain. Successful.
Let's see how slow this is.
Yeah, it's giving us a lot of time to get numbered up and to give a defensive press.
Manu Ha'apai, the number 9 for Tonga, has been quite slow in delivery.
Yeah, well done, Rowan.
Turnover, Rowan.
Yeah, just showing her class there, Rowan.
Just going back a phase, I think with Daisy's vision, I think that comes from both her experience at 10 and at 15. Like, she's constantly got half an eye in that backfield. So even when their fullback has been back in space but maybe not best positioned, she will capitalise on that.
Absolutely, and no doubt that both Flip-Flop and Jade are telling her that there's no one back home, because it's the easiest way to go forward.
Yeah.
That's a very good afternoon to Caroline Pursglove. Well done to the forces so far. My girl Courtney will hopefully make an appearance soon. Love, Mum and Pap. It's great with that family connection and hearing from all of you. Hopefully you're enjoying Caroline, whether you be sitting outside in the sunshine or perhaps indoors. But Courtney Pursglove has been such a key component for the Army and UKAF in recent times. And, well, just seeing quite a few changes here. Rebecca DeFilippo going off. Heidi Silcox, Rowan Sinclair, and see Tyler Lewis, Ellie Brightwell, who made her debut against England students, coming on, and Millie Williams as well for UKAF. So, Huddy, Sarah Mitchelson ringing the changes.
Yeah, exactly what I would have done. So, you get these players on and go on, show me that you're worthy of starting the next game. That's a great tag.
Lovely from Chantel Miller. That's beautiful sidestepping as well. Great footwork from the flanker.
Showing why she was an ex-Army centre.
And that's lovely from UKAF, and good from the forwards, just making sure they get to the rucks in time. And lovely out to Tyler Lewis, and the imposing presence of Tyler Lewis out there. And, well, it's wonderful stuff from UKAF, really showing how much depth they have in this side. And Tyler Lewis scoring only seconds after she came on.
As I said, Daisy plays to the crowd by juggling in there.
That seemed as if she was just short there, but from our vantage point, the referee signalling the try, and a fantastic stuff from Tyler Lewis.
That position comes from a Tonga line out that was overthrown, and then Chantal just showing what she's about. She's not shy of contact, but actually her footwork around contact in close quarters is what's really put her apart from a lot of other people in the past years. And then that was down the 5-metre channel, and we scored just outside the far post for a simple play. That's really good playing and good reactions from turnover ball.
Yeah, this is her first IDRC, Tyler Lewis. Such a talented player, great for the RAF, and the towering figure, of course, capped with that scrum cap as well. Multicoloured, can't miss the presence of Tyler Lewis around the field, but she's been great for the RAF.
Yeah, she's worked really hard, Tyler, and I loved seeing her. We seem to have a bit of a love-hate relationship, because I'm always pushing her a little bit, but I know deep down I absolutely respect what she's done, and some of her close contact work has got so much better, and you just see it there that probably she should have scored, but there were 2 big Tongan players there ready to stop her, and she still got over. Probably 2 years ago she wouldn't, and fair play to her. That's a really good finish.
Plenty of power for UKAF coming off the bench. And what a wonderful thing for the head coach, Sarah Mitchelson, as she looks at different combinations as well, trying to figure out the approach going forward after this match. Of course, Ireland and Zambia also in Pool A for UKAF to play, with hopes of making the playoffs. And that ball once again trickling towards the touchline. A fantastic weight on it as well from Daisy Fahey.
That's too often.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Fluke, isn't it? Too often that happens to be a fluke. That's just excellent kicking. Again, Tonga are killing themselves by they put their scrum half back rather than where's a fullback. If you're going to defend flat 14, you've got to bring line speed and take the pressure on, but that was just too easy.
Fahy getting the ball quickly and finding herself with a decent amount of space, not too much pressure on her, and she's been allowed that time just to pinpoint those kicks.
Yeah, we've seen that it's a clear exit strategy from UKAF. We can see that first receiver back to Daisy and then exit with the boot, which is having great success for UKAF, so why change it? The only thing I'd be asking questions of now is Tonga. Why aren't you adjusting your defensive pattern to read that? Because we have done that numerous times now and been able to capitalise on it.
Erica, one of the things that I think has been evident in this match, and certainly recently with this UKAF side, is just the handling in the forwards as well. And we joke, of course, about emulating backs and trying to get the ball moving quickly, but it's such a feature of this side that they're able to get into that breakdown area and get the ball into space so easily.
Yeah, I think we see that as female players across the board. I think once upon a time in both codes of rugby, you'd see traditional skill sets for forwards, traditional skill sets for backs, but actually there's a lot of versatility in footwork, handling, vision, ability to hit a gap, whether you're a forward or a back. And I think we absolutely are testament to that, and the depth of the squad. We've got great players, great experience, and even those that are slightly less experienced, their skill set is equally as good, so we are able to try and play with a bit more flair and a bit less predictability.
Oh, Sylvie Benevent being used as a battering ram again, and more space opening up, and Jasmine Abel finding herself on that flank on the left-hand side, putting it down for another score. The Royal Navy fullback, that's absolutely brilliant from UKAF again, sensing the space and getting another try.
Two big carries there, one Sophie Benevent, but one Ray Meta has actually cleaned up some scruffy ball, gives them go forward and focus, and it's sucked in all the Tonga players, and then that's a simple executing of an overlap. I say simple, we've seen many teams not do that, but that's really good play by the whole team there. Just going on to your forwards thing, I would say that that's been a mark of service rugby for probably the last 10 years, is the ability of our forwards to play with all three services, the ball in hand and attack, rather than just be a scrummager or a line out or a tackler. And if you go back to the days of my co-commentator playing and the Jane Leonards, they're the ones who started stretching that standard and showing what you can do. So it's a pedigree, and if you think that Combs is with the Fijian squad, Amy Kane's with England, Bonner's with all can play. I mean, Amy played for me at 10 one game, so you can play. They can all play rugby, and that's the big difference between the service women's rugby and some of the men's rugby, is that you're there to do one job in men's rugby, not just necessarily play.
And that ball just landing a little bit short. Some more fantastic comments. Family and friends of you getting in touch. It's great to have you with us today on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Claire H saying, let's go UKAF from Harps in Liverpool. Daisy Atley, let's go Chantel Miller. Good luck to Sarah and team from Stamford Women's Rugby. Great to have you with us, Daisy. Sky Lovett saying, watching Bestie. Bethy D from Australia. It's great to have you on the other side of the world. And Heidi Mullen, let's go UKAF. Watching from sunny Pontypridd. Good luck, Jade and team. Love Mam, Dad and family. Kevin Batley, watching daughter Sarah Batley. We've mentioned just how good a servant she's been for the Army and UKAF over the years. And Laura Hipkiss says, hi, Auntie Sarah Batley. Love Iris and Enya. We're all watching. Well, thank you for getting in touch with us. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching in particular as well. And we know the support's great.
Stamford Rugby, I think Huddy still plays for them, turns out for them.
I don't know how she does it, but she is still playing.
Yeah, still cutting a line from God. Yeah, as she did for many years when I was at Wasps. She cuts a line that no one else can see.
Yeah, Fusi Siua on number 19 for the Tongans, as Vivali gets the restart underway. That ball just knocked on for UKAF.
That will disappoint Addy.
That's two restarts now on the bounce, where the ball has bounced first. First time was in our favour and then not so. So that will be room for improvement, I think, moving forward in the rest of this game, and coaching point moving forward for next week's training camp.
Great to see also,
good tackle,
in relation to those watching, some of the other teams here at Esher in the stand, watching on to see what they'll be up against, and indeed just how great a tournament this is. What a special time.
Yeah, the other good thing about this tournament being on home soil that we didn't quite have in New Zealand, people being able to come and watch. Obviously the tournament is satelliting around a few rugby clubs to try and open that exposure of the women's game and forces rugby in particular. So having those messages come in was very similar to ones that we were sent out in New Zealand. But yeah, hopefully more friends and family are able to access these games and come down and support, because yeah, it's a great spectacle of women's rugby, especially in the lead up as well to the Women's World Cup, which starts on Friday.
I think there's two from the American World Cup squad just watching just down the road from there.
Yeah,
great to see them.
Universal enjoyment here today. What a fantastic year it's been so far for not only women's rugby, women's sport, the Lionesses' success recently, and what a fantastic Red Roses performance in the Six Nations. That World Cup, as you say, around the corner, and that wave of hype really for rugby union all across the nation being lapped up. This tournament, what another fantastic marker as well.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes here, Huddy would be really disappointed. It's gone a bit scruffy, a little bit ill-disciplined. Tonga have now got some field position probably for the first time. Let's see what they can do with it, but you know that's because UKAF have let them, and you know let the ball bounce, missed a clean out a ruck, just weren't cohesive enough, and that can happen when you make lots of changes.
UKAF looking to tidy up this one.
Yeah, another great contest from Beth there, up at 1. She will do that all day long and try and disrupt opposition line out. But like you say, from a few changes, just taking a few minutes to get those connections right, to pick up each other's running lines and yeah, be a bit more cohesive moving forward.
And speaking of running lines, Millie Williams there getting through the middle.
It's on. It's on. It's on.
Nye looking for a bit of space. There is a bit of space here once again on that left-hand side for UKAF, and Jade Mullen now taking the ball. She's got Aspinall outside her, Kim Grundy as well. She'll not need them because the UKAF captain is over for yet another try, and that's brilliant stuff from the home side.
That's just good play. You know, when you take the ball, you go forward. That's a great run from Millie, and a bit of strength. Not to panic, give an offload there. Just take the ball to the ground, ruck over. Ruck's a good option sometimes, and the hands that just, you know, Tonga didn't fold round to the other side of the ruck, and you know, we picked him off. Really good blocking line by Daisy Aspinall as well, just to make sure that Jade was never going to get tackled.
And you know, from Lucy as well, she obviously saw there was only 2 Tongans, fixing that second defender, so it was just a 3-on-1 on the edge, or maybe even a 4-on-1 actually. And yeah, just using that experience, identifying that, and a nice run-in try for Jade, which she so often is the one that's running the supporting lines or is distributing 100%. That pass out wide. So nice to see her on the score sheet.
It's also, it looks easy, and that the amount of teams that butcher that, you know, a 4-5-on-2. But that's really good straight running, draw, pass, give. When it's done well, it does look easy, but that's not easy. So good play by them. I just think Tonga now really got to find something, dig deep and just get physical. I think it's getting a little bit hot for them and a little bit long in the day.
What a statement this is so far to the rest of the sides in the tournament. The very first match, 79 points to 0 as Daisy Fahey adds the extras. And plenty of time still to go in this match at Esher Rugby Football Club.
And you know, sadly for Tonga in some respects, we've still got 4 absolute weapons to come off of the bench. Courtney being one of them, who we know has got skill and speed. So against a tired back 3, I don't believe they've made any changes in that space yet. She will absolutely come on and take them on around the edge. Likewise with Becky, she is also a very versatile player that will bring a lot of impact when she comes on.
It just shows that last bit where the nuts and bolts are really important. Having a line out, the Tonga run our 22 with a line out they're put in, and you know, two or three plays later they're under their posts. Whereas our line out is pretty good, and our scrum's pretty good, and it gives you so much more position to play from.
That ball once again,
this
bouncing, not quite this time though.
But it's still causing Tonga problems. They're starting to try and they don't know where it's going or how it's going to play. So they're caught betwixt and between at the moment. I think they just need to sell out to one policy, either everyone get in a line and just flood the pressure, or put some more people back rather than one.
Lotte Mafi calling for the ball out on this side, this wing. That's taken short, this line out from Tonga.
Do you know, that's really good to see from Tonga.
Yeah.
They've tried a few balls off top and they haven't been successful. So
they turned it over.
Identifying that and making a decision sometimes mid-game, it is not easy. So for them to try something different is really good to see.
And it worked. It was just contact that let them down. And conversely, that's good from UKAF. They were switched on. I think the kick's coming now.
Look at the whip.
Yeah,
and Miller taking that ball into contact.
They're starting to drop back now.
The space has opened up.
They're still chasing the ball and letting it bounce. It's still a hell of a kick from Daisy. There's 3 people back. And look now, the pressure with the chase.
Well, Manu Ha'apai, the scrum half, has been under pressure all day under those kicks. And the ball just seems to keep moving over her head. And Hui Hauhau, the lock moving into contact. Tonga just looking to go through, get some phases going here as well. Ball retention hasn't been a feature today.
They will need that for a little bit of confidence, a little bit of go forward. As you can see there, slight knock on from Tonga, but just linking together a few phases to try and build a bit of confidence to then have that bit more expansive play, which I imagine is really where they do want to play. And it looks like we've seen some examples of the speed that they've got in their back 3. But yeah, just simple basics, putting them together and just trying to get a bit of confidence going forward.
I think it's really all Tonga need to do right now is just simplify the game. If you're gonna, when we get the ball 1 out, don't play off 10. Sophie, I think. But just simplify the game and go forward. At the moment they're trying to play around UKAF, but the ball's so slow that UKAF are able to shuffle in and make the pressure. But it's just simplify the game, and once you get go forward, you can then change in.
Well, a great game by Jasmine Abel, who's been replaced by Courtney Pursglove, and what a situation to come on in as well. 79 points to 0 to the good, and got more replacements yet coming on.
She's coming for Ray.
And
oh no, she's coming for Sophie.
Holly Beacom coming on here for UKAF.
Yeah, Sophie Benevent's gone off. So, concerning with a little bit of a muscle injury, I think.
Strong carrying day for Sophie Benevent. Hopefully just a little niggle and nothing too serious.
Yeah, we also see Sarah Batley moving into hook here, so just capitalising on what John said earlier about her strength and her depth across the front row and having been capped in all 3 positions. Quite unique. I think if she was given the choice, prop is definitely her preference, but you'll see here and hopefully she'll showcase what she can do at hook as well.
Yeah, testing the depth of that front row. And Holly Beacom in that pivotal position of tight head prop. And good for her to get some game time. Just under 20 minutes to go in this match. That depth will surely be tested through the tournament. Physical matches.
Look at the space out wide here. If the ball comes out and you've got Courtney, Daisy and Kim running off your distributors here, there's trouble.
Pursglove just shadowing in behind Mullen and looking to come through on the angle, but that's a bit messy, really, from UKAF.
Well defended, fair play.
But Tongans putting a little pressure on.
But look, all the Tongans are one side.
Yeah, I think that was a good defensive read from Tonga. Yeah. Also, UKAF kind of flooding the same area with a few players on top of each other, so didn't really give them too much to have to think about. But now, hopefully, like I say, they can string a few phases together and we can actually see the calibre of their physicality.
Yeah, moving it through the hands, Tonga. Vivali, the captain. Nice offload there from the ground. But not really much space to work with. UKAF defenders not giving them any.
You've got to stay. UKAF got to go stay connected and get them to ground. Stop the offload. Fair play to Tonga. They're taking it.
Trying to play some rugby here, Tonga. Get something going. Something to cling on to.
That's a good
move forward in the tournament, and that's very nice work there from UKAF.
Yeah, I think we can see at the Tonga breakdown that they aren't quite protecting the ball. There's been a couple of exposed options there, and obviously UKAF have taken...
A lovely offload there from Chantel Miller and Daisy Aspinall. No one's stopping her from that range. Absolutely fantastic.
With the players we've got in the back row and the back 3, any turnover ball, if you can get it 2 passes wide, the options are easy.
Lovely stuff from Chantel Miller out the back of the hand to Daisy Aspinall. And opening the taps there, Aspinall. Yet another try. We mentioned her England under-20 credentials. She's showing all her class today.
Yeah, just you're a really young person, you know, a reservist in the Royal Air Force, supply reservist. Really, it's a really interesting story. About 3 years ago, I got the president of RAF Rugby at the time said, I've got my neighbour's friend or my best friend's friend wants to join the Air Force and play rugby. Do you mind if she comes down and watches you train? No, of course. And from little acorns, Daisy Aspinall's grown. And you know, she came in this year and has been playing under 20. She plays something under 20 games on nine. So, you know, she's got so much skill, but just a great attitude and wants the ball in her hand to finish and loves beating people.
That example for me, John, is exactly how I believe the RAF have got rugby right to enable those opportunities. They're very good, or the service is very good at identifying pathways to facilitate players to play rugby. I think the other two services have a way to go in some respects to keep up with that. You've definitely set the bar.
Yeah, I think it's fair, although I think the Army have got like Lauren Brooks as a reservist, and there's a couple of the pathways there, and actually the whole force is really important to embrace. And you know, Daisy still lost the heartbeat doing her degree, and wants to join as a commissioned officer at some point. So that's all great, but it's still, if you think that way back, Lucy and Amy joined as reservists while they're going through university, and then both, you know, graduated and went into the Royal Air Force. Again, we let it bounce.
Yeah, Sam West, who's on now as well, into the hands of Tyler Lewis.
Yeah,
goes over the gain line.
Under pressure there, she obviously looked up to see where Daisy was and made the right decision to keep hold of that ball and let the others set the platform to then facilitate the exit strategy.
And Daisy moving back into that pocket again to kick. And it's coming back
better
to
position. There we go.
Oh, and that ball's, well, ref says it has gone back.
Good chase.
But chasing there, Chantel Miller up in pursuit as well as Kim Grundy. And yeah, that knock on.
It is a cliche because it's true. The kick's only as good as its chase. And you know, that was a great kick. Look to a back row forward who's been on for as long as the game's going, and a winger being there at the same time. That shows the great attitude. It also shows that we're on the same page. People know what's coming and they're able to get there.
Yeah, playing number 8 now, Chantel Miller. Brightwell, open side, and Sam West, number 6. And Lucy Nye, busy as ever. Waits to put that ball into the scrum. And,
that's great scrummaging from Elisa.
Here it comes out to Fahy now. Seeing who she's got in support, and tackled off the ball, I think Williams there, but Tonga have it.
It's the same move as last time and it didn't work.
A penalty nevertheless to UKAF.
I think they're probably in a position now where they want to try and pull off some moves like that, and with the scoreline like it is, you can afford to not necessarily get it right. I wouldn't want to try it for a third time and not get it right, but I imagine Huddy would have something to say about that. But I at the same breath, I understand why they're trying things. It's definitely a stage in the game where we
absolutely, it's the right time to try it. I mean, if you make the same mistake twice or third, yeah, that's where I just, well, what did you try differently?
Yeah.
And they've tried to flood. They're trying to get the pace through the midfield, because if they do, they're under the posts. You know, maybe show that pattern and just chip over the top, because there's no one behind. Is something they could do, but
just over 10 minutes to play, and 86 points to 0. UKAF lead as they get the shove on in the pack once more. And Nye marshalling her troops very nicely out to Williams and nipping that ball through. A little grubber kick that Fahy's chasing, but just a little too much on it, it seems.
Yeah, I'd argue that was not on the same page, because there was no one with her. So when she went to run, even if she took that to contact, there was no one there to clean out. So there's a little bit of a breakdown in communication between the 10, 12, 13 there. Look, Millie's got that skill set in her to put that through and go for herself, but that's not as as if there were runners through to take on the ball would be a better option. But you know, again, we're showing different pictures, we're showing different threats. The teams coming up further who are going to watch this are going to now have to know that our midfield can kick the ball through, can kick over the top, can go around and go through.
Elaine Metters, I should say, watching my daughter Ray Metters from down in Cornwall. Amazing performance, UKAF ladies. Great commentary, Kiwi.
Thank you very much, Elaine. Not that you're biased, but great to know that you're watching. I know that Ray will be happy that you're supporting her, as you so often have over the last however many years.
Keep those comments coming in. Fantastic to have your company today, wherever you may be watching this match with us. And a bit of footwork there from Chantel Miller, and picking it up and moving, cutting back inside and trying to evade a few defenders, which she does successfully. And now out to Brightwell. Turning around, recycling that ball. Moving it out to Fahey now, and Pursglove with an opportunity, out to Kim Grundy, finding two defenders there in red shirts. And again, Holly Beacom this time. Some of her fellow forwards there to sort things out. Williams again. And just a bit loose. Tyler Lewis unable to cling on. Ball that passed to her a bit low.
I feel like that there's a balance to be had, isn't there, when you're winning with a scoreline like this, for trying something versus going back to basics and trying to bring in the people into the game that have just come off the bench. I think they're trying to find Courtney here, but maybe just forcing it, and actually we've got space out wide, so just do the basics in a couple of lead-up phases, and she will naturally be in space just by how Tonga are defending. I think we're trying to force it in some areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we stretched the pitch brilliantly there with Kim coming in and having a breakdown there, which meant, all it needed was two quick breakdowns in the midfield and you'd have walked in the corner. We're trying for that miracle move, or the one that looks, just play your attacking structure. They can see it's there, just play it. And what we were doing brilliant in the first half was running straight. There's some running sideways at the moment, but that's a great carry. That is a great carry.
Wonderful stuff there.
There you go. And that's what it is. You do two carries like that from anywhere in the pitch, they will open up.
Well, another try for UKAF. They carry on their merry way, it seems, here. There's still a little bit of time left. And 91 points to 0, the score moves to.
It's like she heard you, John. Sarah Batley, a nice straighten up there and using her physicality to get over the try line.
As I say, Sarah is a coach's dream. She'll do whatever you ask her to do. She might give you the raised eyebrow, but she'll do it. But when it comes to actually just doing the right decision, making it, showing the team what needs to be done, nearly always it's a Sarah Batley who'll do it. And well deserved a try there.
Well, she did a kicking masterclass for us recently, Daisy Fahey, and she's been putting that into practice a lot today as well. Plenty of conversions, and out of hand, she's just been brilliant today. And what a great asset to have as a team, to be able to chase those balls through, as the two of you mentioned a short time ago, but also turning that defence around. And certainly that'll come into play even more in tighter matches through this tournament. And successful conversion attempts, so 93 points to 0 the score moves to. UKAF just off a century. And keeping the Tongans to 0 points as well will be pleasing Sarah Mitchelson.
What they really need to focus on here is get the kickoff right. We've probably not got the last 5 kickoffs right. We let it bounce, we've not got underneath it and just done the right thing. So I know a coaching point here would be get the kickoff right.
Yet another restart. And the Tongans looking a bit weary now in the sunshine. Moving towards that halfway line. And the skipper Vively trying to summon some inspiration here.
Yeah, I mean, a scoreline like this, it's hugely deflating. You've been defending for 70 minutes. Yeah, mostly for 70 minutes, and it's hugely saturating in this weather. So now it's about, I guess, just trying to take some positives in their open play, or even in their defensive play and their defensive kind of pictures for the next 10 minutes.
No 9. That was Lucy, so there's no 9. Okay, we've recognised it.
And Miller coming in to be a makeshift scrum half as Ellie Brightwell takes the ball on. It's been a great couple of weeks for her, having made her debut and got her cap. Ellie Brightwell, and contributing to this set of phases. And that's a little loose, just going over the head of Holly Beacom. But they gather anyway, and Pursglove here, an opportunity to show what she can do with her footwork. Finding a bit of space, and Aspinall moving back inside Aspinall, and that'll be another score for UKAF. And the tries keep raining down for number 14, Daisy Aspinall.
I feel for Kim there. There was no way she was getting that ball. Once Daisy got that, there's no way. Again, the work that the carries did there to narrow defence up. I mean, the pass that was out of the breakdown didn't have to be accurate, but there was no Tongan there to get hold of it. So, that allows you a little bit of leeway and accuracy. But again, we just pick them off and run under the post. That's really good play.
Yeah, I think what we've seen from Tonga even whether it's intentional or not, is they are very physical at the breakdown beyond the tackle, so they aren't making it easy for UKAF, and we are having to commit numbers to preserve that ball and to try and give a good platform for Lucy, and we saw it again there, which is like a huge defensive effort from them. But like you say, it's good for us to capitalise and recognise that and be able to create space out wide to get under the posts.
Absolutely. If you think of the French side, the one that won it last time, the team we played at Portsmouth coming out of COVID, they were big up front, and we still have to make the dents out there, but they're good. They're good defenders out wide, so we won't get the space if we play teams like that we do. So it's good to get the fast, quick ruck ball that we need to play off.
Well, Fahey just pulling that conversion attempt, and score stays on 98-0 with just over 5 minutes to go here at Esher. I think some elements of the crowd looking to see if that score can tick over 100 at 98 points to 0. And Daisy Fahey she's had a very, very busy afternoon.
She'll have a sore hamstring from kicking. Well, let's not let the ball bounce, would be my coaching point from here.
Okay. Ball just being held up in the wind a little bit. Miller again. She's been busy, but the ball just spilling out there a little bit, and the referee signalling it was knocked forward. Be a Tongan put into the scrum.
It'll be good to see here. I don't think we've seen a lot of attacking ball from Tonga from a scrum, so it'll be good to see what they have got to offer off the back of this scrum now.
I'd like to see the number 8 pick and just go.
I think they might do that.
If she goes right, if she goes against the grain here, but there's only Daisy and that big number 8, I think just go.
A chance for Sarah Mitchelson to see what her side does in defence here, with Tonga a more promising position than they've had of late. The ref just resetting things, making sure everything's in order to go. Not long until the final whistle in this match, and my word, it's been one heck of an afternoon for the women in purple. The start they would have been dreaming of as they look to lay down a marker in this tournament.
Yeah, really important for UKAF here as well, as far into the game as we are, for them to stay technical, if not more so, in the scrum when fatigue's kicking in. You've got a bigger front row, a bigger pack overall. You want to be technically sound.
Well, Leota there, powerful presence. Leota, replacement front row player. And just a dummy there from Tupu. Tonga trying to turn it on in these final moments of this match. UKAF having to move back with the penalty being awarded. And
that's the sort of switch off that Huddy would be annoyed at.
There's no any lapses in concentration.
There's no need for an offside penalty there.
An opportunity here into the UKAF 22 for Tonga.
Yeah, and defensively it'll be good to see what UKAF do here. They've shown a couple of different pictures now, Tonga, in attack. So whether they stay feet on ground or whether they up and spoil, it'll be it'll be good to see what decisions they make from a defensive point of view.
He's getting the middle ball, I think. No, front.
The ball goes to the front, but it goes forward, and UKAF have it once more.
Good cleaned up.
And maybe a bit of time here for UKAF to get back down the field.
Well, it's one more carry, but they haven't learnt from Daisy's kicking. They're still too close.
Lots of space in behind UKAF have to play with. Daisy once again lining up for that kick. Ball going over the top.
So they're still chasing the ball rather than running onto the ball. So they were too deep. But they got it now. Let's show something.
Oh, chance to counter here for Tonga. What can they do as UKAF rush up in defence? And that's a very solid hit.
I think that was from Amy Reynolds, and we just saw her get up and spoil their defensive line out, and then be up and put that line speed on. And her work rate, the first half in particular, was exceptional. I think she's played really well today.
The ball skewed off the foot there, which has allowed UKAF to take the ball again.
There you go, Batley again.
Final act of this game. Beacom out to Sam West.
Sam West impressed when she came on. Some real good carries, good game line. And again.
Yeah, and that ball coming through, that's spinning end over end, that little grubber kick. And Tonga being pushed right back. The ball, well, skewed right sideways off the boot. Back into Tongan hands, but UKAF are shoving them right back onto their own try line.
Yeah, we talked about work rate side, and you can see the first two people chasing that kick were Chantel Miller and Amy Reynolds, which is just testament to the fitness levels of the squad, but also the tenacity to still put that pressure on when we've only got a minute left of the game. So that's great to see. Both of them have worked extremely hard and done some of the legwork, particularly in the first half and in and around the breakdown area, to enable the backs to do what they've done today.
Seconds to go in this game. Is there a chance for one more try for the UK Armed Forces? Push them over at 100 mark.
I must admit, I'd be an 8 pick up and go over to Chantal over the top of the winger.
Ball comes out, and the backs are in business once again. Coming out to Jade Mullen, moving around the corner, and Williams here, and seeing there's space, and Courtney Pursglove does get that score. Fantastic stuff. The winger has a habit of scoring plenty, and nice for her to open her account for this tournament.
Yeah, it's great to see. I think we've just seen another pirouette, are we going to call it that, from Jade today.
Yeah.
Not quite sure where she's plucked that one from, but twice now it's proven successful. So great to see Courtney running that supporting line and, you know, pretty much run in try, just based on the tightness of Tonga's defence.
Solid scrum as well, that was base again. So the last minute of the game, you know, the forwards have played the whole game. That's a solid scrum on attacking Paul. That was really good, and just simple, you know, hands and pick the space. It's really, really good play, and I think there's a lot that Harry will be pleased with. There's a few things to work on, but there's a lot she'll be pleased with.
We've seen the pirouette twice, and it's led to 2 scores. So I think if you're a Jade Mullen, you'd be thinking, I'm going to continue with that through the entire competition. But Fahe here with the final play of this match, ready to add another couple of points, which she does. 105 points to 0. UKAF get the victory first up in the curtain-raising match of the IDRC 25. What a way to start, and what a way, Erica Mills, to put out a statement to everyone else in this tournament.
It's a massive statement. You know, it's not easy for any team to score over 100 points, and that is absolutely putting a stamp down to some of the other teams that I can see are here supporting the tournament as a whole, but also as a collective unit. They've come together, they've had a few people join the squad that weren't available for the last fixture. Like John said, a lot of huge positives to take into the next fixture. Hopefully there will be a bit more to test them in the next game defensively, because that's always the balance, is when you've had a game like this, actually how does that translate into the next game? What are we deficient in? Maybe defensively we haven't been tested, but they were absolutely tested against England students, so I'd argue that they've had 2 very different games where they've been able to showcase attack and also be really challenged in defence, which in my mind will set them up in a really good position for the rest of this tournament.
100%. If you're a team watching the UKAF and you've watched the last 2 games, how do you play against them? You know, what do you do? It gives you so many questions. There's a few probably areas to take them on. The forwards played really well, ball in hand, set piece was really strong. You know, we've got a 9-10 who commanded the game. A kicking game that is, you know, arguably one of the best you'll see, and pace out wide. Put some 2 centres in the middle who can run and pass, and now you've got to sell out to one option and hope the ball doesn't get there. I think that it's a rude awakening for Tonga, but I think they've shown enough to say that they'll give other teams a go after learning a lot from this. But UKAF got, you know, you can only play what you've done. It's a hot day. They've gone out there and done it, and probably it's more important now what happens between now and the next game in terms of recovery and getting it right, rather than worrying too much about anything else.
Yeah, just a reminder, of course, as the matches come thick and fast in this tournament, France v Australia tomorrow from 12:50 UK time on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel, and followed by that Fiji versus the Vodafone Looseheads as well. And yeah, it's just an absolutely brilliant showcase for the quality that we see, not only on these shores but across the world as well. And I tell you what, good luck to anyone who's trying to create a montage of the best tries, because we've already had quite a few today.
Absolutely. I think, you know, there's some great finishes, some great there's all good tries. Arguably one of the things that will please the team more is the pushover try from the driving maul, because that shows a lot more depth in the game. The kick through, but when you know you've got wingers like Kim and Daisy and Courtney who can finish like that, then it's a hard. You can beat a lot of things. You can't beat pace.
Nice thing, Erica, as well, for that healthy competition and sort of maybe a bit of banter as well in the squad between each other. How many tries have you got? How many tries have I got? You saw the wingers there, as we're saying, that back three and their scoring prowess. It's fantastic to see, and very, very healthy signs for UKAF.
Yeah, and they'll go away from this now and scoreline irrelevant. They'll be hypercritical of what didn't go right. We saw those 2 moves that they tried to pull off there. Why didn't that execution go to plan? What did we do? And I think they'll definitely be celebrating the wins and a lot of the good that's come from this game, but will still be extremely hypercritical of what didn't go well and where they didn't capitalise. So that's just the nature of competitive people who want to be excellent all the time. I think for Tonga, you can see here, they just play with absolute pride, heart, and we see this so often that they're, despite the score, they're still united as a squad, still hugely soulful. I think they're singing, which is always a beautiful kind of way to round off the game, irrespective of the score. Yeah,
they never gave up, and that's the thing. I think there's some simple things that I think they. A bit of line speed and a bit of fold round the corner, but that sort of stuff is easy to say from here. UKAF didn't allow them a lot of the time to do that. From UKAF point of view, they kind of knew what Tonga were going to do, and I would say, if I was hypercritical, but probably the tackling to ground rather than hit and hold is one thing. If you've got a team that can then play off that, you're in trouble. But look, it's a great sight to see the Tonga team all together still singing.
Yeah, nice from the Tongans, and also UKAF just showing that camaraderie in the squad. This match as well played in just top spirits, which is what we hope for through the entire tournament, and it's great to watch. Great for all those who've gathered here as well, just creating that bit of atmosphere as well. And we're now going to head down onto the pitch because Kath has gathered a couple of very, very happy UKAF players.
Okay, joining me now, 2 players who had very, very significant score lines during the game here. The 2 Daisies, Daisy Farhay, of course, and Daisy Aspinall. And if I can come to you, Daisy A, first, because you got off, the massive score that you ended up with, 105, started with a try from you within the first 2 minutes. Was that a plan to sort of get on the board early and really early dominance, I guess, from UKAF?
Yeah, no, it was 100%. I mean, throughout, our training week this week and in the change room we said it doesn't matter what the scoreline is. If we haven't scored, if we're winning by loads, we just want to keep putting the pressure on. So yeah, from the off we were just like, let's get as many points as we can, and we did that. So yeah, very happy.
And Daisy F, complacency is a danger, especially in these early stages in these pool matches. And I know you guys are well drilled, but you can be almost too over drilled sometimes, too overtrained. But do you think you've clearly hit the right balance here?
Yeah, I mean the first game of any tournament's always a bit of a difficult one, and we just wanted to go out there. We've last couple games been building, and I think today it's all started to come back together. Obviously, I can only imagine that Huddy's probably going to have us doing double tackles on Monday morning. No recovery, but no, I think we put on a good show today, and I hope that we just continue to build throughout the tournament going forward. So.
Yeah, and Daisy, I mean, you are fairly new into this, but given the England students, and that was a really good, I know it was a tough scoreline, but it was a really good matchup, wasn't it? To sort of get your heads in the game and get it ahead of such an important international tournament. How are you sort of feeling body-wise and I suppose, mindset-wise? Are you enjoying this level of competition?
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. I mean, there has been a fair bit of defence, I think we'll all agree, in training, but yeah, our bodies are holding out fine, and building in from the students' game, there were 2 new caps, so it was nice for us, 2 new caps to integrate in the squad, and yeah, we've just gelled really together, so looking forward to building to the next few games.
And Daisy, you've got obviously a couple more pool games to go, but I imagine the mindset won't change. I know Huddy will always look for improvements, but anything else you can grab there?
No, definitely. We just we'll celebrate this win now, and then we'll just build for them tomorrow. I think straight back into it tomorrow morning. So yeah, we'll be good to go.
Fab. Thank you, Daisies. Off you go for your official photograph, and we'll throw back to Simon.
Thanks, Kath. Well, I think I'm delighted anyway that I'm not doing double tackles in the morning. We've got an opportunity to watch what will be two brilliant matches tomorrow. France v Australia first up, and then Fiji versus Vodafone Looseheads. Very quickly, Erica, we're going to see plenty of quality tomorrow, and it just shows that UKAF will have their work cut out because there's lots of strong opponents here.
Absolutely. Australia, France, if they're anything like the previous IDRC, we know that they'll come with flair, physicality. But I think from today's match, we can take away a lot of positives. We played very, very clinical rugby in a lot of areas. I think it's just the 1% now if the score line is kind of, they run away with the score line, but equally in the close-up matches, those 1%. And like the girls just said there in the post-match interview, Huddy will be looking for those improvements, irrespective of today's performance.
And John as well. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see how tomorrow goes.
Yeah, one of the surprise team of the last World Cup was Fiji, who were not only played to the national stereotype of throwing the ball around, but they were really, really physical, and they shocked a lot of teams. So if they're any sort of the same team tomorrow, watch out for them. But Australia actually were, I thought, tactically one of the best teams out there last year, but France were the complete package. They could do it all, and deservedly won it. So 2 great games tomorrow.
Well, it's been great having your company here with us. BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Don't despair. We'll join you again tomorrow. France v Australia first up from Maidenhead Rugby Football Club. 12:50 UK time coverage starts, followed by Fiji versus Vodafone Looseheads. It's been an absolute delight, Erica and John, and great to have all your company with us today as well. We'll see you tomorrow.
Scores the try, the third try for UKAF.
This is the pinnacle of military sport.
She's going to go through and score the try, and that is a fantastic try.
We can't wait to show what Davis rugby is about. British rugby.
Goes wide, it's going to be a try, surely.
We really want to just be able to create a spectacle, get as many women and girls involved in rugby as we can.
Momentum going in their way.
Probably the biggest honour you can get in service rugby, so it is very special.
She's at lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try, and that is a fantastic try.